There we go. That looks good right there. How's everyone doing, man? We're just gonna. This is hot shit interviews with your boy Jason Dubs and Dark Matter. Here he is, right here, Mister Dark Matter.
Hello, how you
You
doing,
gotta
man?
fix your camera, sir.
Yeah. I see that.
There we are.
All
And
right.
today we have Mister Fiction. How you
Yo, what's
doing,
up? What's
sir?
up?
How you
I'm doing
doing,
good,
sir?
man. It's
Good.
it's been a crazy week, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about it. I always have crazy shit going on. So, so what you do is you produce, you run a podcast, and so on and so forth. Why don't you, for those who don't know who you are, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
All right. My name's Pat, and I go by the producer name Fiction. I've been a producer on and off most of my life. I've always been a musician, but pretty much I've always seen people struggle with getting their music out there. So I've been in a bunch of groups. We've been in a bunch of lives. So a bunch of us decided that we're going to make this group to try to get more producers heard, try to connect more artists with producers so they can actually get their music where they need to be. So that's where the Heat Wave Music Group came in. We got it started. I run a show on Friday. It's a producer competition, and people come in. There's no tags, so they do it anonymously,
Oh,
and pretty much that way it kills the bias. There's no you can't go on there
Yeah,
and
I
just vote
like
for your
that.
friend.
Yeah,
And
no, I dig that shit out of that.
dude,
absolutely.
I've been in a bunch of events and a bunch of competitions like that where I see people in there and they're like, "Yo, come vote for me," and they get like uncles, brothers, sisters, nephews, dog to come out and vote, and they don't give a crap about the music.
Right. It is vote, right?
Yeah.
So so that's where we got the whole non-bias thing. That's where we came up with the no tags. So I mean, obviously, whenever we post stuff, we're gonna put the tags in it because we got to protect their music. But
Absolutely.
which is just another outlet to try to get people's music heard, man.
That's awesome, man.
And do you guys have something? Do you have something set up where people that are in your group and people that you're friends with, where they have like a do you have like a forum where people can go online and listen to different people's beats, and if they like it, like Cash App, boom, buy it or lease it or
We have a lot of stuff. We're pretty new. We actually just hit 500 members,
okay.
and so it's still all new. Getting a lot of stuff figured out. I mean, getting a YouTube place. We're getting BeatStars and different other outlets of stores where people can go on and buy beats.
Yeah.
And so right now, I mean, we got a couple chats that are open up. We have a lot of producers. I got a bunch of emails that we could always reach out to anybody. Yo, what's going on, everybody? See posts over there coming in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're coming in, man. They're coming in.
Yeah, good to see everybody. Thanks for
So
Yeah, make sure you share up.
we also do donations every Friday and Saturday. Well, people donate throughout the week anyway, but we started at $25. I got a bunch of admins that are in with that help out with the group. We started out at $25, and anybody in the audience can donate money that goes toward the prize fund. I've had it up to $141 on a Friday just from people coming in and donating.
Oh wow.
And we
That's
just had a
awesome.
tournament, and they had a $300 prize fund.
And that's from people donating?
Yeah, the tournament we had a $20 buy-in for it. There was eight producers that were in it, so it was $160. This is where it started at, and it ended up the prize fund ended up $300.
That's what's up.
So
So it
is it like double elimination or is it like each round like the winner goes on to a next round to battle? Is it like a
the
like NCAA basketball bracket type shit or
the
like
first we did an eight-person bracket. This is the first tournament. It was the first season. We had 8 weeks for the first season, and then we did the tournament. And there's still a lot of work for future tournaments. I want to get judges.
Oh,
And
yeah.
nice.
instead of doing like an audience voting type thing, just to kill the bias even more because it is a tournament, I want to get judges in. So I'm working on that to where we'll have like probably 3 judges for the tournaments, but we'll do the non-bias voting for the no tags in the normal weekly event.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
That is awesome. So, tell us a little bit about how'd you get started in music there? Like,
To
what?
be honest, uh, Trent Reznor back in the day
Wow.
was a big influence of mine. I was a big
Okay.
head growing up and shit, and
Okay.
I always saw Nine Inch Nails coming out, and he has a travel band, but like all his music he produced himself, and it
Yeah.
just intrigued me. So that got me pretty much trying to learn any instrument that I can learn. I mean, I got probably 30, 40 instruments around the studio right now, and
And
I
you
just
play
try to
them all,
learn.
huh?
Yeah, I
He
mean,
plays them all well.
I even have a didgeridoo on the wall that I can play.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's yeah.
That's fucking
That's awesome.
sick. That's legend shit.
So, Trent Reznor was my initial influence of actually being a producer, but I've always been a musician before that. And then
What was your first instrument that you played? Guitar is what I'm guessing, but
guitar, correct?
yeah.
Right.
How old when you started, brother?
Shit, I probably kept trying to steal my dad's guitar when I was 5 years old. And anytime growing up, my brother played guitar, and so I always was interested in it.
Right.
And I think I'm the only one that stuck with it too.
Sweet. Where'd you grow up?
I was born in DC. I grew up in Northern Virginia and around that area. I was about 30, 45 minutes away from DC, so I was always getting trouble in DC.
Right.
And that was an awesome place to grow up in the 80s and 90s because
This is
any
Wild
band,
West, dude.
dude, any band that you ever wanted to see is coming through that area.
Fugazi.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, Fugazi.
Fugazi, yeah, dude.
I remember that shit. So
Oh.
like, dude, the music scene was just lit as hell growing up in the 80s and 90s out there.
Yeah.
So I ended up, my folks retired. They went out to Florida. I went out there for a little while. I've been all up and down the East Coast. Hell, I lived in Puerto Rico for about 8 months.
Oh wow.
Right on.
I used to sell Kirby vacuums. So I was doing
Oh,
that
that's awesome.
for like 10 years, dude. Like,
my mom,
Cur-
dude,
the Kirby man.
My mom dated the door-to-door Kirby salesman guy, like who was like 10 years younger than her back in the day, and I still talk to this cat to this day.
dude, the Kirby guy is fucking Jody. I'm telling you, like he's the dude. Like I heard all these stories about like people cheating on their husbands and wives with the fucking door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman.
I love you called him Jody.
Not the Kirby guy. What's the matter with you?
Yo, there's a movie. It's called
Backdoor
Super
service.
Suckers. Shit. So anyway, I ended up. I met my wife in Florida, and that was crazy time. I was living in Jacksonville, and we ended up. She had grandkids down here, so we ended up moving out to Oklahoma. So that's how I'm in bumfuck land, Oklahoma.
How long you been in Oklahoma now?
6 years.
Okay.
So you know me, I had to pick up the recreation that I liked. I run a grow out here that has some of the best medical marijuana in the state.
Yes, he does.
I like marijuana.
Y'all seen it?
Yeah, dude, talking fucking big buds, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling y'all come see me.
Yeah, no, I want to, bro.
We need to plan a show in Oklahoma City, dog.
We need to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to do that. Just make
sure.
a goddamn thing out of it.
I'm definitely down to do that.
Plus, I want to continue the conversation that we had about growing shrooms too.
Yeah, right.
Boomers.
I need to know more about that.
Yeah.
It's an amazing life.
It is.
I bet.
I can't believe that shit's legal in Denver.
But the boomers? Are
Yeah.
those legal too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But only in Denver.
Yeah.
That's fantastic though, brother.
That is, man. It's like medicine, man. Yeah, every now and then you gotta do a nice little mental reset, man.
They do. They have. I seen this thing that they have a program that's funded by the government, and it's for people that have terminal cancer, right?
Yeah.
And they give them bomb ass mushrooms, dude, in like pill form. And they go, you know what I'm saying? And they're like supervised, and they got medical people around. But it's like these people who are all like depressed, terrified of death, never had an experience, like an 80-year-old woman, and she takes this shit and she's just like, Oh fuck yeah, dude! That was like the greatest thing ever. I had
Dude,
this
that's
like
kind of cool,
epiphany.
man.
Yeah, it is like
No,
let
it's
somebody go out
awesome.
with some dignity. Like you shouldn't have to go out scared. Like
Absolutely, man. Because that's a
fuck.
scary thing, dude. That
Yeah,
is definitely a
absolutely.
scary thing. Ain't nobody want
Yes.
to die, man. You know
Well,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
it's like we all do it, but it's like if it's
Yeah.
not on your terms, man, it's like it's hard to get over that bitterness and that the realization that you are not in control and you never were.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
But hey, I wanted to ask you, when did you? How were you when you were able to start like looking at tablature and sheet music and being able to just read it and translate it and play it like fluidly?
Well, to
Because
be
that
honest,
shit that baffles me. The fact that you do it like nothing and
dude, most of my guitar playing, I learned to do it on the spot. Like I learned to sit there and figure out which key it is and then be able to improvise doing it. Like I went to school to play guitar
Oh, wow.
and like well, just in high school I had a couple guitar classes. Not really I
Right,
went to
right.
school for guitar, but
Right,
like
right, right.
I learned how to read sheet music and it bored the ever loving shit out of me. By the time I got out of anything that was involving school, I never looked at another piece of sheet music again the rest of my life.
So it's
Okay.
all
Uh,
by ear now?
I can, yeah, exactly. Like I can
Yeah.
read tab, and I played by tab. I learned all the songs that I like. I wanted to learn how to play either by ear or by tab.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Tab's easy because it tells you exactly where to put your finger. So as long as you sit there and listen to the song, you could play to it.
Right.
But most of my guitar playing skills is improvisation. Like I will sit there and just make up stuff as I'm playing it. Like when I'm doing the
You're
lives,
more
like
like you're like a vibe guy, a feel guy, not like
absolutely,
a tech
absolutely.
guy.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can,
I could
but
dig
like
it.
most of the way I enjoy playing is just sitting there and kind of like playing by feel.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome, man. That is
I
awesome.
like textures more than technicality a lot of times. Like a
Absolutely.
good licks with the right textures and shit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
me too.
Unplanned things are some of the most beautiful things in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
yes.
I've done some of the best features and stuff like that. Did just by grabbing a beat I made and just you know just showing a person be like, hey, get on this, and then go to the next person be like, hey, get on this, and there's some other that they come up with some awesome collabs, man. You know, but I just I just love doing stuff like that.
Like you get somebody in the studio and it's like you can't mesh, and then all of a sudden you got somebody in a car and he'll just start hitting that shit, and you're like, what? What?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. It's all about timing, I guess, or something, you know, and it is about the feel, you
Sure.
know. Yeah.
So when did you start? Because we're old cats. We remember before the internet and shit. You know,
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude.
like when did you make the transition to where you started um, working with digital audio workstations and production gear and kind of translating your musical knowledge into that realm and more of a beat production realm?
When I went from kind of musician into more of the producer realm, pretty much, uh, I got Fruity Loops back when it was Fruity Loops. Fruity Loops 1 back in I think 1997.
Yeah, I remember
And
that shit, bro. I
me and my buddy Jeremy, I think he's in the chat, dude. I think I saw him in here, but like me and him used to fucking make beats,
Shout out
and
to Jeremy.
we were going to like hippie shows back then and all kinds of crazy stuff. So
Oh,
like
that's what's up.
some of the music we made was just nuts. And there he is, I see him.
Yeah.
But so I had a down point in my life after I left Virginia, actually starting in Virginia, and then I kind of like backed off from all music for a while. I was just kind of like in a bad spot, trying to figure out where to go, what to do, who the hell I even was. So when I got back to Oklahoma, actually in Florida, I still did a little bit, but then my house got robbed, my computer. These people came in, kicked my damn computer, like in the laptop, like in the motherboard part of it.
Oh no.
Stole a bunch of my guitars, like $6,000 worth of guitars, smashed my
Shit.
keyboards. So I lost everything. So I took
that
probably another
sounds like
10 years.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Uh, yeah, I didn't have a lot of great times in Florida. I got in a lot of trouble in Florida. So it's good I'm at the hell out of there. But so when I got back here, I actually have my own house. We bought our own house. Things are a lot better off, so I can get situated. And I had a back room, so I'm like, man, I'm gonna make a studio. And I actually started with my old computer from the '90s, and I loaded up Fruity Loops 9 on it and started making beats again.
Oh
And
wow.
then it was a cracked version of fucking Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
All my
Yeah.
shit was probably illegal, fucking pirated bullshit. So
Allegedly.
no, I'll even say it, dude.
Yeah.
Most of my shit, I'm legal now,
Son of
brother.
a
I'm
bitch.
legal.
Yeah.
So I told you I was in bad times.
Yeah.
So and then after I kept going with it, I'm like, I actually have a place where I can stay. I can stick around. I was actually able to build it up more, and I bought Fruity Loops years back now. Um, Started buying all my shit. I got a lot more keyboards. I got a lot more controllers in here. Things are actually I've done a lot more networking. So the last couple years has been probably the biggest push, I would say.
Yeah, no, I've
I'm
just
I'm 41. It's time to push, I guess. Shit.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's how I
no,
feel
just
too.
like
Yeah. Absolutely.
since I first met you, just watching the strides you're making and the moves you're making and shit is it's dope. It's dope to see, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
41. You're getting up there, man.
I
You're
know,
getting
right?
up
It's
there.
time. It's
Getting up.
time to do something.
Right. Absolutely. That's how I feel. I'll be 43 August 1st.
To be honest, dude, you
Yeah.
guys were an influence. You guys were one of the first like shows that I saw, which I actually kind of clicked with,
That's what's up.
and seeing what you guys are doing on the artist end, and then me and all the admins of Heatwave were like, well, let's do this on the producer end.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to get a networking so we can hook up some producers with artists and definitely be profitable for everybody.
Yeah. How cool would that be? So how many admins do you have? Who's all a part of that heat wave?
Okay, we got EVM, which is Eric
Okay.
Von Mason. We got Ashley, which is Dead Ass Beats. We got the Brainiac Drew Burford, who's in the chat. I see him here. I'm trying to look at the chat, see who else here. Deandra Charles, she goes by Deandra.
Okay.
Caveman Will, Pokey Tracks. There's like a bunch of people. We got a bunch of
Right on.
admins, bunch of.
Well, shout
I'm
out to all
probably
them
missing a
people, man.
couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of talented people that submit tracks in there every time I check the show out, and it's like the couple times I've sent in a track of mine, I get nervous watching the show and seeing people's feedback and stuff.
Dude, depending on the day, brother, like I've had lives where everybody's loving everybody's shit. Like I've actually had a really good response with a lot of your stuff, Dylan. And I think you got a 10 the last two times I think you got in the gold circle, and it was
that's
pretty
what's up.
close.
Yeah,
I know
Let's get
one
it
of them.
done in
they're
there, huh?
definitely like they're not shy about like telling you what they think about
No,
your shit.
dude. All right, so we got this dude Reek in our crew. He's running a beat review now on Mondays. So
Yeah,
and
I've
he's pretty
actually
ruthless.
I've popped into his live a couple of times and just listened.
Actually,
to what
he's
he's
more
doing.
ruthless on my live than he is on his own. I think he's trying to keep people and not
Yeah,
scare
right,
them
right.
away too bad. But
Yeah.
the last couple weeks were pretty brutal on my show.
Yeah, I don't know, man. When I first started doing Gas or Trash with Jay, he'd been doing it for so many years already, and it's like at first I kind of went about it one way, and now like I'm a lot different when it comes to critiquing people's art, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I always try to find the positive and shit instead
Yeah.
of just like blasting people, you know?
Give them some stuff they need to work on and then end on some positive stuff, man, because not everyone's so terrible. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
can't find anything positive out of a song, I think, you know.
Dude, that's one thing.
And it's all
Yeah.
subjective too, you know. It's like what you think is bullshit. Somebody else might fucking think is brilliant, you know.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Mike Melendez too. I forgot about him. Yo, so one thing about the reviews and the critiques and shit, I appreciate it. I want criticism. Like if I do something and there's something I did wrong, I want you to tell me what it is. But I don't want you to bash me so bad where I'm like, I don't want to do it again. You
E-
know what I mean? So
exactly.
I got to kind of control that because a lot of people are pretty harsh on there, which they're not really meaning to. But as a new member and a new producer, it could scare off somebody pretty easy.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because people put their heart and soul in this music. You know, the people
Right?
that are
Absolutely.
serious anyway. You know, man,
Right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, artists yeah are you know real I'll say eccentric people. A lot of them,
Oh
and
yeah,
eh, and you can hurt their feelings pretty easy. You know,
absolutely.
And
and
not only that, if there is like this epidemic of artists that just like to hate on other artists, whether it's blatantly to their face or they wait till they leave the room.
Right.
But like, yeah, there's just I see a lot of that, you know, and it's like, and I see that it's like, so it's I we keep our circle fairly small, you know, like
absolutely.
I like working with people and stuff, and paid clients are always the best, you know. But when it comes to like really working on like those deep projects, you know, where you're doing EPs and shit with people and putting in, you know, a year on a project and stuff like that, it's like you want to work with them people that just got that good ass energy and everybody's working towards a positive goal, you know what I mean?
Right. Hell
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dude, one thing I miss about being at home is I have nobody out here. Like I am totally in the digital world with
Yeah.
music out here. Like sharing my music, getting it out there. I don't have anybody around here that does music. I can't jam out with anybody out here. It's like totally a digital online world for me of trying to get it out and get something done.
So, tell me a little about have you got any of your beats placed? Is it are they on Spotify
I got a
or
couple
Apple or anything
beats
like
that are
that?
on Spotify. I got a bunch of shit that's on YouTube. I've never really got placed with anything. I've never really most of my music for a long time was just making music for enjoyment. I have just recently started doing stuff for artists to get placed and stuff like that, which I got a couple beats that I've sold. Um, but as for getting placed with anybody, not really yet. That's a newer venue for me.
Yeah.
My music is, if you ask a lot of people, it's kind of a bunch of different genres put together
Yeah.
half the
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
And so it's not really meant for an artist to get on. I mean, I've thought about doing a couple albums that are just straight up just the music instrumentals, not even meant for artists. I got a bunch of projects that I'm doing for artists right now that is strictly like placement type beats. But I get tied up, man. Like my ADD ass is like, all right, I'm gonna sit there and make a bunch of beats for artists and go try to sell them. And I'll make a beat, and then I'm like, somebody's like, hey, get in this beat battle, and I'm like, okay, and you need 5 beats. So I'm like, all right, so now I'm making 5 beats for this, and then
Yeah.
somebody's like hits me up about a damn video game placement. I do have my couple songs in a video game, like couple
That's awesome,
online,
man. That's cool,
nothing
man.
big or anything like that, but just some little shit that I got.
Yeah.
But I'm so ADD with it, and the biggest thing I could say to any artist or producer is try to get fucking situated and figure out what you want to do. Because me being musically inclined on different spectrums of the field, I want to do so much with it, and you can only do so much at one time.
Yeah,
Abs-
I feel what you're saying. It's like I like speaking of which Bobo said something about, you know, I made a comment about being nervous to send in a beat to your show. And he's like, I don't know what that feels like. But it's like
Uh-huh.
I get nervous because like Jay makes the beats. Like I don't usually make the beats. Like
Right,
me and you got a couple of really dope collabs, but it's like my lane is like mixing, you know, like that's what I do. And like
right.
that, like that's my side of it. And
You know
I
your craft.
I know my craft, yeah, and it makes it easy. Well, not easy, but I have ADD too. It's easier to like stay in your lane when you just know what the wheelhouse is.
Right.
Absolutely. Like I'd never be a rapper. Ever.
I
Yeah.
agree with you on that one, Jay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am not like I've
Yeah.
never been into lyrics. I've never had a great voice. I've
Right.
never. I tried once or twice, and it didn't. It was no.
Yeah. Yeah. I just know that about myself too. Yeah, it's just I stay in my lane, man. And if you're gonna be a CEO of a record label, I truly believe that that you shouldn't be an artist too, because you're never gonna let anyone get past you. I don't care who you are.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And you're gonna put more time and effort into yourself than anybody else. So I just like I said, I like to stay in my lane, man. Uh, so so you met everybody digitally. That's a part of Heat Wave. That you don't have any friends on there that you know personally or went to school with or anything like that.
Nope. Like I got a couple friends on Facebook, like Jeremy, he was in the chat a while ago.
Yeah.
He's just starting to get back into it and make
Okay.
beats and stuff like that. But for the most part, I have been on my own doing music pretty much by myself for a long time. I
Right.
moved away
Right.
from Virginia in 2005. So since then, I've pretty much just been on my own doing
Wow.
music on the internet, digitally, everything.
As far as working with people, is there anyone that you would like to work with or? Any- Yeah.
I'll work with anybody, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of producers out there, like I'm I don't really listen to a lot of music that's out there because I don't like it to rub off. Like I enjoy music, sure, I love hearing it, but I don't listen to stuff too much to where because I like to be different. I don't want to come up with the same thing that everybody else comes up with. There's
Right.
so many producers out there that make beats. They want to make type beats. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right,
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to
right.
make a dirt type beat. I want to make a little baby type beat.
Yeah.
Like same thing with artists. They want to sound like other artists in their lane instead of coming up with their own style of it. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are scared to.
Well,
But I'm
yeah,
one
Right.
of those.
and a lot of people too in popular music, it's like at that point, like you got bills and shit and a family, and
Right.
it's like you see like what that dude's record did, and it's like you just want to like do the numbers, and I think people settle for shit just to like fucking do the numbers and put the food on the table. They want to do artistic shit, and but the risk, they don't want to take the
Right.
risk financially, and
Right.
I get that, I guess. I get that. But
If you could work with anybody, is there like a special person that you would like to work with? Is
I don't know. I never really thought about that question.
Yeah.
let me ask you
Most
this.
of my influences are like really not hip hop based. They're
Yeah.
more industrial and actually, well, my favorite band. If I could work with Jared from Head PE, that would
Oh,
probably be awesome.
awesome. Yeah.
Head PE is probably one of my favorite bands of all time, and it was like a hip hop punk band.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
I had to say anybody, probably Head PE.
That's what's up, man.
What was the first hip hop tape or CD that you bought? Do you remember?
All right, I was not into hip hop for a long time.
Yeah.
Probably Chronic 2001 was probably my
Oh
first
wow,
hip hop
really?
album. I'm not even
Wow.
kidding. I was into like Afro Man, dude. Afro Man came around and partied
he's
with
a good
us at
he's a
my
good dude.
friend's. Fuck yeah, dude. We ended up
Yeah.
hanging
Yeah.
out with him after the show. He came back to the studio and hung out with us for a weekend.
Yeah.
Uh, it was a crazy ass time. But but yeah, dude, like it took me a long time to get into hip hop. Like a lot of my friends at the time were not really into hip hop. And I was into music, man. Like if it had good music to it, I didn't really care what the people were saying always. Like I could appreciate hip hop back then for just a lot of the music that I liked. And then gradually I got more and more involved in hip hop and a lot of people in hip hop.
Yeah.
And so that's when I got more of a hip hop style into my producing.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, Dylan, you're right. I mean, shit, you're trying to make money. Not a lot of people want to buy crazy shit. A lot of rappers out there want to buy type beats.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
that's a thing to think about too, as a producer and somebody that's like, selling beats. It's like you can't dictate where the the styles are gonna go. And it's like, okay, if people are looking for this, like I can do that for you. It's and just try to put your stamp on it and make it as clever as possible. I don't know,
Right.
find a balance.
And it's
But
crazy. Like you make some beats sometimes, and like you'll put so much effort into it, and you'll find artists that they just want it dumbed down so much. Like I've made so many beats, and like I've talked to a lot of artists, and people want more simplified beats than the more crazier ones.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. If it's if somebody's really lyrical, the more lyrical they are, it's almost like the beat needs to be simpler. At least you can make it more complicated, but you just have to get more intricate. Like I make it more complicated with textures, and like in my production, I'll make a sequence, but as it's going through the bars, I'll start, automating the sequence and adding distortion and adding parts into it, so it's constantly building and morphing and changing.
Right,
and,
absolutely.
it's building dynamically, but not because you just added more instrumentation or added another horn or added another hi-hat or drum. It's like sculpting it. I like textures, man.
Right, absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of situations instead of adding another instrument into it, you could add like a chorus or a reverb and just give
Right.
it a little more depth.
You
and
got to
everything.
save room for the words, man. The
Yep.
words.
You got to
Yeah.
get that headroom.
Yeah.
If you could put yourself in like a genre, what would it be? Like
If I'm making music the way I want to make music, it's probably more of like a industrial rock hip hop fusion type deal.
cool, man.
I can, like I said, like you all were talking about, like I can make a bunch of different type of beats for different producing, but if I'm actually trying to like make just music that I want to make, like I'd probably say more toward like Head PE, Linkin Park, shit like a rock hip hop fusion type deal.
That's cool, man. That's
Very
cool.
nice.
Right on, man. What did you want to be when you were growing up? Like, did you know you were gonna do this? You know, like when you say
Nah,
you're like,
in this aspect, I wanted to be involved in music. I wanted to be like a front man of a badass band in front of like thousands and thousands of people.
right, right.
I was always a guitarist. Even as a young kid, I was always a guitarist. So.
Yo, did you used to stand in front of the mirror with your guitar and like work on your pose?
Oh, dude, I did that without the guitar.
And on the faces.
I mean, I had those stupid little drumsticks too back in the 80s that like you hit them in the air and they make sounds. I can't even remember what they were called.
Right.
But if it made noise, I wanted to make noise.
How do you feel about like the industry music today? You know, and how it's changed over the years from, let's say, like 2000 till now. I mean, we could talk about hip hop or rock or
It's a
whatever.
very hard question because people change and music changes, so it's not the same thing. And
Right.
people got to keep in mind a lot of time. Everybody bitches about newer music. Anybody that's older, they'll tell you that
all the
music
time.
back in the day it was better, but it was different. They didn't have what we have now. They didn't have there's a lot of new things. I definitely love older music better. I'm an older head, but there's a lot of crazy stuff in the industry these days. I will say that.
Yeah. Do you think like all the big labels are gonna eventually fade away and there's gonna be a lot more home studios, which there is, but do you think uh y- well, let's just put it this way. Digital or analog?
Oh,
What
I'm an analog fan, but
Yeah.
it's a digital world.
Right.
So, I mean, shit. I think
Stevie
that
Bullis, what up, man?
I think everything's going to be independent here shortly. I mean, you're seeing less and less labels out there and more produced independently. That's one thing I've noticed from a lot of the music that I've heard is, I mean, there's so much, like the home producing studios now are ridiculous compared to what they were in the 80s and 90s.
All right.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
because you don't have to fight the signal to noise fight anymore with that you
Nope.
had with tape. That's all gone. Now you can have great high frequency presence, and yeah, it's nice.
So I'm seeing a lot more independent produced artists, producers, everything out there. So yeah, I do definitely.
That's what's up.
I just think I just see like maybe a lot of labels, like independent labels coming out, but it's like even Rockefeller at the end of the day was still Def Jam. They're still under Def
Right.
Jam. And it's like there's always a boss. And I think at the end of the day, the people that run the publishing game right now, like they got a fucking vice grip lock on that shit that ain't gonna go nowhere.
Oh yeah, it's a monopoly.
Yeah, like who's the biggest record fucking label in the world now? Apple Music, or the biggest publisher now? Apple
Right.
Music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
absolutely.
dude, like Steve Jobs, dude, he just dismantled the record industry and threw it in the garbage. Like they would have never did that to the movie industry, dude. For
And
like
the
10
day that
years, for
Apple,
like 10, 15 years, dude, it was really fucking weird and fucked up. Like nobody
yeah,
knew. Like studios are just closing left and right. Like, yeah.
the day that Apple buys out Disney or vice versa, y'all better watch out because the world's coming to an end.
Yeah. We're already on the way.
Yeah, no shit.
What what kind of legacy would you like to leave behind with your music, man? What do you want to say to the people in about 100 years from now, man?
Dude, I've always wanted to leave my mark. I've always been one of those people that I want to be heard. I want people to notice what I've done. So I definitely want to do something that people remember. You know what I mean? I definitely want 100 years from now or something. Just I want my name to be known. I want to do something. I know I don't want to be one of these people that just lived their life and did nothing. Well, not necessarily nothing, but they didn't really leave their mark. They could have had a great life and everything, but there's a lot of people that led great lives that are not remembered.
Yeah,
So I would definitely like to do something where I was remembered.
sweet.
I can dig that, man. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, me too.
Maybe a
What would you?
statue. I'd be all right with that. Ah!
You want to know what my ultimate goal is like
What's
the
up, brother?
thought that maybe someday there'll be somebody on the Space Force wing of the military that's on a UFO somewhere, and he'll have one of my songs on his iPod or whatever, and he'll show that shit to a fucking alien somewhere. Like 100 years from now. Like that's why I do this shit right
Like
there.
some
That's
Guardians
my
of the
whole goal.
Galaxy. Some Guardians of the Galaxy type
How
shit.
cool!
I'm not even kidding you right now, bro. I'm dead serious. That's what I'm all about.
That would be awesome. That would
Yeah.
be kick ass. Absolutely.
Absolutely. What would you say to a new artist or a producer coming up today, man? How would you explain what's going on, and you know what what kind of jewels would you give them? Pearls.
Man, the biggest thing I can give to an artist is just I see a lot of people that they drop out. They need to stick with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that they just need to push their craft. If they're an artist and they're into rapping and lyrics and everything like that, keep going with it and do everything you could do. You know what I mean? Same with any producers out there. Don't stop.
You
Don't
got
give
to have
up.
the gumption to stick it out, man.
Yeah.
People don't
I mean,
have gumption nowadays. That's why everybody breaks up. You see lots of couples break up and divorces and stuff.
right
know?
now in my weed business. All right. So like we got rec coming soon. Governments hopefully within the next years are going to be going rec. So I'm in a medical world where I'm an indoor grow. They're
Okay.
putting up greenhouses. They're putting up these outdoor grows right now that are killing the market. Like selling pounds for
But the weed ain't that
$400.
good for the outdoor. You can't nurture it
No,
like you can with the
no.
indoor and motherfucking.
So they're doing it in greenhouses, so it's better than
Right.
straight outdoor. But
Right.
they're putting up 100 greenhouses, trying to just put everybody out of business, having so
Yeah.
much that they can try to monopolize on everything.
Right.
So we have some of the best quality medicine in Oklahoma. I've been all around. You can ask anybody. We have some of the best looking flower and tasting flower that's out there.
It's that deal,
And
huh?
we just have to hold on until they pass this shit for rec, and then it's
Right.
going to get a lot easier. The laws are
Yeah.
already in our favor, helping us out. We just got to hold on, stick it out. I see grow after grow after grow after grow shutting down because they're getting scared that they're not going to make it. And if they just get past that point, things get easier. And
Yeah,
that goes with
yeah.
life, that goes with music, that goes with everything, man. Just
Quality over quantity, if you ask
stay
me, man.
committed.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
You put out a good product, man, people are gonna listen, or people are gonna buy it. You just gotta, like I said, quality over quantity, man. I'm a quality guy. I want to
Absolutely.
smoke the best weed, drive the nicest car, have the nice. I don't know. I've always been like
Younger me would slap the shit out of older me.
that. Why is that? Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me.
Oh, dude, I was a wreck growing up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, smoking weed, you're scrounging for damn eighth bags and 20 bags and shit back in the day, and now
Yeah.
I've messed with more weed that I could think of.
You're bathed in it,
Le-
man. Just
Legally, I'm like, all right, I'm trimming 50 pounds right now and bagging shit up, and it's legal, and I'm like, Jesus.
that's like
And
a
then
dream job for
back
me.
in the day, I think I punched somebody for $20 so I can go get a damn fucking bud.
I remember as a teenager like thinking about the prospect of these days and thinking like, yeah, maybe it'll happen in my lifetime, but I really didn't. Maybe when I was like 80 or 90 I might see it, but
Dude, never. First off, never did I ever think Oklahoma was going to do what they did.
Right.
But never would have thought that I would have seen growing up in the 90s that everything we see now. I mean, I got dispensaries on every damn corner. People are selling pounds for $400. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Wow. Pounds for $400 ain't bad.
And that's what's killing the market right now is all
Is
these
it
damn
is it good?
greenhouses.
Is it good though? I mean, is it good?
Not compared to the indoor, but
Yeah.
there's so damn much of it, they can fucking sell it that cheap. And if I go
Yeah.
up trying to sell a fucking pound for 1,800, which is, I was getting 1,800, 2,000 a pound, easy as hell when this first happened.
Right.
Now, like in the area, you're like struggling to get 1,000, 1,200, and they're
Yeah.
selling damn pounds for 400. A dispensary's like, well, shit, give me 4 pounds.
yeah,
I go up
and
there trying to.
electricity is getting more expensive.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
everything's
like,
more expensive, dude. Shit,
yeah,
everything. With
Yeah.
gas
Running
prices
those
going
big
up,
lights is a motherfucker, man.
yeah.
fuck yeah.
I'm running probably at least 24 to 30 lights per room, and they're like 650 to 1,000 watt.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
a lot of juice, dude.
Yeah.
That meter's
yeah,
just
dude.
like that meter's
yeah.
just fucking singing, dude.
I've run a couple different grows, and
It's just
yeah.
like 100,000 watts.
It's not hard to get like a $5,000 electricity bill. I've worked at a couple grows, and that's pretty common.
Yeah.
So what can we expect in the future from Fiction? What's going on?
I'm actually working on an album that I'm working on right now. That's just me. It's not going to be an artist or anything like that. Besides what I'm working with Heatwave, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're doing a lot of stuff that we're going to get set up. I'm going to start doing a radio show, and I'm going to start having producers with all their information on it so they could just watch this show. The people's tagged music's going to be on there. They're going to be able to see BeatStar accounts, emails, all this stuff when it goes on there. So I'm going to have like a subscription type thing. But
wow.
just an easy way to get different types of beats. And we might do different genres for different types of artists. I haven't really planned out. It's kind of in the works. I played a
So
bunch
we
of
don't
music
have
one
a
night.
date. There's no date.
Not yet. I will stay posted within the next couple months. I'm going to have something rolled out for that. It'll be on a small end, and then it's just kind of keep growing from there. Well, we still got our weekly event every Friday. It's the Heatwave Producer Hotspot. It's free to enter. We got cash prizes every week. And then every 8 weeks, we do another tournament. So that's all going to be happening. We stay consistent with that. So we'll do that all the time.
How does a person get in touch with that?
I gave Dylan an email and stuff. I can
I will
post it.
I will drop
Yeah.
I will drop all the links in after the show. I'll
Okay.
go back in and drop them
Okay.
into the chat.
Okay.
But I
Sweet,
got
man.
emails. I got our Facebook account. We got a YouTube account, a Twitch account. We do the show on Facebook, and then I just started getting hooked up to where I can do multiple streaming at a time. So we're going to start doing YouTube next, and then maybe some
Yeah.
other platforms. Definitely. I mean, I might even try to get some artists in there to judge, just
Yeah.
so we can get some artists over on that way,
Yeah,
checking that out.
absolutely.
But a bunch of my guys got beats, like Ian Hammond in the chat. That's easy money. He's a big artist guy. Like he's somebody that is a straight artist producer. Like he makes beats for artists.
Very cool.
I got a lot of people in there that do battle beats. I got a lot of people that do gaming beats. They do orchestra scores. Like there's a dude, we call him the Problem, and this dude, his name's Prabhu Ganesh, and like he does some of the sickest scores you've ever heard. Like I call him Junior Danny Elfman because this dude's like it's placement movie ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. That shit is that's where the money's at. That and the video game shit is where
Fuck
the money
indie
is.
games, dude. Indie games. I keep telling people there's a
Yeah.
big thing in indie games right now.
Yeah.
You make a little bit of money, huh?
Hell yeah.
That's what's going on.
I got a bunch of guys that kind of research placement ideas and stuff like that for people, and we ended up finding a lot of like indie game stuff that are always looking for music.
Yeah,
Well,
I want to
sweet,
try. I
man.
want to try to track down some like indie filmmakers, dude, at a film school in New York or something that are working on like a
Absolutely.
short film, and like try to link up with somebody like-minded, and do like a score for them. You know, like,
Dude, let me get with you. There's this site that it is for doing scores for movies and shows and stuff like that, and they'll put up clips and they'll send you, and you can write the music to it to get different placements and stuff like that. The Problem, he's the one that was telling us about it. He goes on there. He's had stuff placed for like movies and stuff like
Oh
that.
wow.
He just got a thing for Stargirl. It's some show. I can't remember if it's on Netflix or something like that, but he ended up doing a score for one of those.
That's
Dude,
what's
there's
up,
some
man.
talented producers in this group.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
yeah, for sure.
I did a score once. It didn't get placed or nothing, but just playing around. I mess around with a lot of stuff, man.
It's fun that you get to really use your effects.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Your trippy shit.
Dude, I've
Yeah.
always been a sucker for like cinematic stuff and stuff for
Yeah.
movies and stuff like that, dude. It's definitely fun to make using a bunch of orchestra sounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember buying the CD for the soundtrack to the movie Traffic. That Cliff
Hell yeah.
Martinez did
Yeah,
that shit,
yeah.
and just the sounds in it are like, I don't know. It's
You know what's a good
it takes you
soundtrack,
somewhere.
man? Is the Forrest Gump soundtrack, man. That was a good one. I
Hell
really liked
yeah.
that one. Yeah.
It's
That was,
it's
that
got
was
that one song that's in every war movie ever.
Yeah,
What is that?
yeah.
Buffalo?
That John Cougar Mellencamp fucking
Yeah.
Well, man, we definitely appreciate you had that. I mean,
yeah.
we appreciate you doing this, man. Thanks so much for coming on, man. If you want to give some shout outs, now's the time, man.
I mean, I appreciate everybody out in Heat Wave. Appreciate my wife. I gotta say what's up to her because she puts up with my ass. But just everybody out there trying to make it, and all my admins, my moderators, everybody over at Heat Wave, you guys at Gas or Trash and Double
Thank you.
Dare. I
Thank
appreciate
man.
you guys for putting them on, taking me on this
Yeah,
journey.
absolutely.
Yeah,
It was a good time, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you do it again? Did you like it? How'd you think it
Absolutely.
went?
I had a good time. I thought it was pretty good.
Awesome, man. So all you artists out there, let me know if you want to do an interview, man. We'll get you up here and we'll get her done. You know what I mean? But until next time, I'm your boy Jason Dubs from Double Dare Entertainment.
This is Dark Matter.
And I'm Fiction.
All right, man. Holler at your boy.